So I guess if I title this recording appropriately, it's probably going to be something like The Bus Life or something like that. Knowing full well that my flair for documentary making has not been about the bus life at all, but it is in the background of our dog walking YouTube channel, and I thought I'd make like a special bus life episode, mainly because of what's on my mind about all the bus life things that are on my mind right now. So the good thing about this location is the bus is parked under the shade, and it's good for keeping the heat levels down inside. Keeps it at a tolerable level for the doggies and I guess us when we're hanging out in there with the doggies. But it's not ideal for capturing solar onto the solar energy collection device that's mounted on the roof. So today my mission is to remove this bus from here and take it out into the sunshine. And that sounds easy, right? I'd love to bring you along with me, but the fact of the matter is I've got all this work to do, and it makes me think all about how yes, we didn't choose to do a bus life channel, and my main reason is because I don't know how to make it look glamorous and fun. For me, it's like everyday chores and that's all I can think is worthy of making any kind of documentary about. The reality, the authentic, true story of this bus life, the way that I'm experiencing it, in the very least. So it's a whole nother issue at the moment that there's some dumped rubbish in the park there, nothing to do with us. And the good soul in me wants to do something about it. I'd love to spend the time and energy to collect all this trash up, and it's been blowing around in the park, and some of it's been run over by a lawnmower over there. But instead of actually putting the time and energy into that as a public service kind of thing, I decided just to report it to the authorities. So you might have thought that we were going to jump in this bus and go for a drive, but the reality is quite different. I'm hanging out in here with my dogs, and the house is an absolute mess. I've got dishes to do, and all of the cargo on board here needs to be put away, and I thought it would be cool, if you don't mind. It'd be cool if I just wear the camera and let you all vicariously enjoy the experience with me. The experience of getting this bus on the road, ready to travel. That's what's happening. I don't know if I need these lights on. It's debatable. I thought, I'll put the lights on and the camera will be able to see okay, but it kind of does. It's dark, but you guys can see perfectly fine. In fact, it's almost better lighting rather than the glare from these overheads. Hey, what do you think? Maybe we'll just run with it. I'm definitely going to put this on because I always use this light above the sink when working in the kitchen. And for me, honestly, this is the job that I dislike the most about bus life. It's like tidying up the kitchen, and then there's the rest of it, which that's all I really want to do. Instead of recording a dog walk today, I kind of think about watching this back in time lapse would be nice. I might drink that. It's a licorice tea. At least I think it is. Yep, it's definitely a licorice tea. So I'm sort of tempted to upload this as just a real-time recording, or maybe I'll throw it in through an AI editor and you'll only get the highlights of where I'm talking, all the boring bits in between. That'd be good. That'll cut down time. That'll save you all from having to... That'll save you all many minutes of your lives that you wouldn't get back otherwise. I'll probably do that because this is going to take a while. But yeah, for me, it's also... I'd like to, just for my own personal reasons, record all of this work that I'm doing so that I can watch it back in time lapse later. And I'm pretty sure that if I do upload this recording of me blathering on as we go, that if I just try and talk to you all about the things that come to mind while I'm doing this this work, I guess I should keep it in subject, I love this whole vibe of showing the real lifeness of it, just the arduous tasks, everything to do with how my life is like in this bus. I'm a bit ADHD about it. I might just flitter around just doing, because to me everything's just all the stuff that needs doing. I see stuff that needs doing everywhere. But we're starting with the dishes, with a good vibe of that. It's always a great place to start. Tidy the kitchen, square away the kitchen, and then worry about the rest. It's sort of a decent temperature. I turn the flow down, it gets a little bit hotter. Yep, I haven't put soap in there yet. It's a hard world we live in when you think about, and you can't help but to think about all the negative criticisms you might attract by putting yourself out there. But I don't care, I'm way out there, especially today. All the stuff that I can't talk about, the chaos and crazy that's going on in my life and the lives of others that I care about. But it's that time of the year, everything is getting pretty hectic and wild. The crazies are out there on the highways, starting their holidays. You know, it's all on my mind, that stuff. But I'm feeling like at least I can do this one positive, creative thing to sort of offset all the bad juju that's going on at the moment. Do the good work, get the work done. I've also always dreamed about making a video of me washing the dishes, I have to say. Quigley, is that my dog? Quicks? Often we don't have the blind open on that side. I had that one open too. I opened that one, then I opened that one, and the dogs were over here barking at the people that are walking past outside. So I killed that window off, but I still haven't done this one. So Quigley's having a look out there, eh? He has his little grumbles at things that are going on outside the universe. I think I've forgotten which one I already washed. Just being honest about that. Deal with this thing. I should have given this a rinse. It's horribly polluting, sweet, sugary tomato saucy stuff. Yeah, I've always dreamed about making "this is how I wash the dishes" video. Like, to me, like, everything happens in a particular order. I've got the set standards and procedures, washing guidelines, procedure, jargon, blah de blah. So I don't always start with these. I often hit glass first. Glass is like the first thing I like to get into the fray. But for some reason I went cutlery this time, and that's where it's debatable. So I'm not always perfectly in line with my dreams and desires, but I do have like this particular order that everything gets done in, and I'm sure, you know, that's totally relatable to a lot of people out there. And also it's quite a fun thing, eh? Like the whole making sure you make the most efficient use of the drying rack over here, choosing where to place things, and planning for the placement of future items and things like that. Is that going to work? No, the cup says no. Oh, cool. So I am quite a perfectionist, however I don't always get it right. I have to make rearrangements and things like that. Can't remember if I rinsed that one, so I have to say the most unusual part about this experience is the fact that the camera's recording and I'm talking basically to myself, but to all of you who may care to listen. If I publish this footage, I might publish the footage and not the audio. Who knows? I want to see the time lapse of this. It's like day in the life of Mr. Free Unleashed. You don't even get, it's a dog walking channel, you don't even get to see the dogs much this episode. There's one on the bed. Here's the other guy. Here he is. He's having a rest too. We've been out playing in the sunshine this morning, it was good. Okay, since I'm doing both jobs, I think I could just do these two bowls and then put all of that away. The water's not as hot as I would like, I think, and I'm going to have to dial it up a little bit. And if I reduce the flow, that helps heat it up a bit more too. Yeah, beautiful. Maybe I should do this. Yeah. The main thing that made me want to start putting away all that stuff is the fact that I don't really have a great place to fit this in that drying rack right now. The old scrub with the thumb. That's very hot water now, that's good. Whoever you are, Annabelle. So I actually thought that was dishes, but it's just being used as an avocado bowl right now. That's good. Alright, so I guess the next thing to witness is me drinking more tea first. What have you all got to look forward to? Me pulling the plug, these going away, this all going away, locking down the kitchen, and you get to see where we stow a lot of this stuff. While I'm still down here crouched, I'm going to deal with these items which live right here. Counterintuitive which way the camera's going to wiggle when I move my upper body, but that's the body-worn camera effect. Trying not to be too self-conscious about camera movement. The contents of this drawer have evolved quite a bit over time, so there's quite there's a loading pattern that I have for the most efficient use of space. I'm sure most bus lifers would be familiar with this whole shenanigans. Other people have much more practical solutions for dealing with this stuff. Oh, this is not working, is it? That's not working. Maybe this is because usually we go that way. That's perfect. And I think yep, there's one missing, obviously, because there's meant to be 6 here. Maybe, did I hide it under there? Who knows? We'll find out. So yes, because there wasn't really much dishes to do, sometimes we have more than that. Depends on the day and how many people we're feeding and all of that, which fluctuates from day to day. And look, there we have the missing cup revealed. Complete the set of 6. The chicken, the chook, is the latest addition to this drawer. Alright, so I think this drawer's locked down. I might flip the chookie upside down for more travelling load security, and then I usually bung a towel in there. That drawer is complete. We won't be opening that again. Goals! Maybe the avocados can ride in here. Would that be asking too much? Yes, it is. Tricked you. There those in there. Alright. You guys might have been looking forward to seeing the contents of this drawer. It just is what it is. Some things live in random places. Some things have assigned locations. This is the most important tool that hangs out in here, I reckon. Get that in under there to light our gas facilities. You're still not done doing the thing. Sometimes I put the spoons in the wrong way around just to upset people. Just to make people go, what the hell? Why are the spoons the wrong way around? Run some water. So this lives here when the kitchen is in service, but it doesn't when we're travelling, because it sits in here and it flaps around during transit. So usually just bung it in here because there's no reason not to. It's great. It adds some load security to whatever's riding up here on the top bunk. It happens to be an electric heater riding up there right now. I am well aware that I've left the water running. The toothbrushes have a safe place to be put away in the bathroom. I thought that might be the one part of the bus that I wouldn't show you all because it's a bit embarrassing. Nobody wants to see our tired old bathroom. But that's alright, you don't have to. I just need to hit this special button and the toothbrushes are gone. In there, in the bathroom where they belong. Okay, alright, we're getting down to the final countdown on the everything in its place kitchen situation. That back over. Behave yourself. Did I drink all of that tea? I didn't. I should have washed it. It's escaped my attention. Sweet. Now I've just got whatever assortment of random items to sort through. Things like this just happen in this house. So what am I going to do with these? Get there eventually. I'm doing the excess water mop now. With the freshly rinsed yellow. This is the barman's prerogative that I'm experiencing here every time this happens. Every time it's time to do this. I am not touching the stove, although my inclination is, because there's all this spilled food that sort of cooked itself onto the upper surface of our stovetop. That's quite often one of the things where I'm like, nah, can't be bothered doing that, and I'm definitely not keen on doing it right now while I'm recording. It's just a step too far down the mundane tasks list. And there's also already so much more to do in this house. Go down there for now. Some things aren't going to their final destination. They just get whizzed around until they end up where they're going. These things, this is recycling. This is our recycling box up here. That's where we collect recycling on top of the dog's little house. It's a nice convenient place for recycling to be in our life. What is this? A very gross looking honey jar, but I bet the honey inside's still good. I'm pretty sure that these normally reside up here. Look, there's another honey. Honey! That's a honey too, which it's like our most special honey that we're not allowed to eat because it's still like aging in its container. Good day. Symbolic honey. The cheap honey and this also very expensive honey, which we've had a lot of. So obviously because we've got so many choices of honey, we usually go for that one. Honey, good for your health. Good for the bees too to be making that honey for us. Yeah, mostly it's all light things that reside up in here. I wouldn't normally have the peanut butter up here, but someone's chosen that as a location for that. Yeah, and this cupboard is like we hardly ever open cupboard because it's like a medical supplies cupboard. Happy to show you that though, because you may have been curious if you've been looking at this cupboard during the recording so far. Yeah, this is all just art really. And that's a door handle for this door, which doesn't have a door handle. Funny looking door handle, I know. The fridge with the kids' artwork on it. The microwave, which we never use. It's actually more of a storage cupboard. Anyway, I'm doing too much tour guiding and not enough me. We need to do the work. Believe it or not, this oven doesn't work, so it used more as a storage facility. I was of hope that the avocados in the colander might ride in there, but I think that's not a go. So, avocados, I think you can be safely stowed down here probably. Maybe not. Somebody's put a very unexpected item in here. I'm maybe breaking it. Can I make these two items coexist in this hole? Things around a bit. This is where we get really down to the nitty gritty of how I feel like we've got too much stuff, and also things not as, things are pretty organised, but they get a bit crazy. This thing, unopened, the wrong product delivered to us, needs to go back to the shop. but it's been on someone's to-do list for way too long. Not sure where to put it. It feels like if I just have it here in the kitchen, we're screaming out for attention, that'd be good. Not sure what to do with these fruit either, but you know what? Random items like those tend to end up riding on the stovetop, I have to say. This is the procedure for stovetop travel. It's, it travels just fine without this towel, but the stove is noisy in transit with these metal things that jump around on top. So the method for taking that noise out of the system is just to chuck a towel in here. And then these fruities can just hang out on there and going nowhere. That's load security for you, ladies and gentlemen. This is it's pretty much recycling, so it's going to go up in here. Right, I've got to try to be efficient with movement, I think. These, and whatever that is, what is this? Toothpick, floss pick things. I feel like they're supposed to go up in there, but I fear that I'm just going to have a no hope time of fitting them. I wonder, Miss Wild left it for me to do. Yeah, do you know what? These are so special because they're just brand new. We just got these supplements. Actually, let me share them with you. And I can't tell you, I'm not an expert, but you can educate yourselves on what these are. This is the one that Katie said she's insisted she's got for me to take, feeling like she knows that I need it because I have been having trouble with having restful sleep, and I need to, just be careful about my heart. So that's a good one for that. What's this one? The CoQ10 kind of related. Ubiquinol, I think is how you say that. Quinol. Yeah. I don't know much about this one, but I bet it's good for you. And that's for teeth. That can probably go for a ride in the sink today. For me, having lack of a better place for it. These bad boys, nah, this is not a great place. I think they're going to appear up here with the honey and everything as like an overflow. Now, things do move around and roll around up in here, and it's not usually much of a problem, eh? But I have this secret weapon here, this bag of Cocoa Puffs, to sort of help with stability up there. Alright, and the last thing I always save till last to make me feel like operation complete in the kitchen is the invention that we had to come up with, because the slider drawers here like to come out when the gravity's desiring that from them. I'll put this window up because y'all have been waiting for that. You know it's coming. Drink some water. Oh, okay. Now we're getting down to me trying to figure out where to start the next of the things. Might just take a minute to think about it, and also need to take another break here, so we'll just time travel that little privacy moment required of the situation. Cool, that's dealt with. Getting much better. Right, so I'm thinking I'm going to work in this direction. That's what's going to work for me, which means I have to relocate a dog and a blanket. Come on, off. Good boy. Maybe I should have left that on there. I'll put those on the couch to-do list later and do some bit of tacking in and tidying here. I just also check the time code because I might AI cut this for you guys, so it's taken a lot longer than you get to see because I'm just sort of meandering through all of this stuff. Some things are just going to get herfed in the general vicinity of where they belong for time saving sake. I've just noticed this door is insecure, so now feels like the time to locate the security stay on that. It's either that, lock it open or lock it shut, that door. I think dog food riding on the back of the couch is going to be for the win. Hopefully it stays there. Hopefully. I just slammed it down on this old tablet. This is, doesn't matter what it is, but it's a 10-year-old tablet and it still kind of works. I don't even know where it lives. A lot of this stuff is actually tear my hair out sort of responsibility right now. Where does this go? Where do we keep this? Let me have a think about it. I feel like it could live here and it would be safe. It's a beautiful place for it. What do you think? What do you guys think? Hey, never mind them out there. No, don't worry about it. It's a road inspection vehicle. Look at our front dashboard, folks. Hurrah! All the crazy stuff that lives there. My favourite thing is this Star Wars tin. Who knows what it contained in the first place? Probably collector cards or items or something like that. And this is Lady Justice, who lives on the dashboard too. It's a pop doll. Yep. All the cobwebs from our pet spiders. Lots of random junky stuff that's been collecting up here. Like, I really need to do a tidy up. There's even fuel vouchers hanging out there. I might actually remove them because I wouldn't want them to blow off out the door later in the day, considering these activities that we're going to be accomplishing in the long run. Our poop bag dispenser box up there. I just put a poop bag back in it. Money is filed in the appropriate place, or the vouchers that are like money. Yeah, random objects selection. This normally lives down here. This is my dog's sunscreen. He doesn't really need sunscreen on much, except for on the top of his nose if we're going out in the sun. Hey, and there's a Toto. He doesn't really use sunscreen. He also doesn't get to spend very much time in the sun. Just enough. My cute doggy. The stars of the show. These are the stars of these are the light of my life, these little guys. Yeah, my cute doggies. I love you, my doggy. Yeah. He's a furious little guy sometimes, this one. Alright. Now, the funny thing about this being a convenient place for the box for recycling, I found that the most likely location I put it for travel is right there. We're getting there. Let's sort through these random things that have appeared up here. What is this? Is that just... what is that? I don't know if that's... is it a hairnet? Oh God, it's some kind of like... I better not throw that away. It was looking like rubbish to me. I thought it was balled up fur. Okay. And this. And this. This is a beard and moustache. What a funny. You want to put that on? You want to put that on? And we've had that for a while. It was hanging up here most recently. That's where I was used to seeing it. Up here on our very tiny things shelf and handy items shelf. There's even money up here. Let's put the light on, eh? You get to see a bit better. The more we work, the lighter it will get, because we need to open up the curtains and everything to go driving. Right, these items I'm going to relocate to here on the stove. I should not have put that on the bench, considering the places this bag goes. I'm going to get in trouble for that. I do love the aspect of this where everything has its place. A lot of things have their place, or the places that they go. Even up here on the ceiling, we've got all sorts of things hanging around, like that's there. Don't ask why we've got a big glass jar. It was a gift. It's just sort of been floating around, waiting for its purpose. It hasn't really had a purpose since it was given to us. It could be a dog food container, and it was a pet food container before I acquired it. So the person that gave it to me was like, "You can have it. You can put pet food in it like we do." That's kind of cool. I'm going to put these up here for safekeeping. So we'll be putting those on for the travelling later. And this is where I have to remove a dog. from the sofa again. He's generally pretty good. Once I get into action with this thing, he usually gets the hint and leaves. This dog bowl can go in the sink. Alright, I'm going to put the lift on this item and remove it to where the dog is. Let's see how he responds to me just grabbing it. He usually just gets out of the way. He's a good dog. He's a good boy. That's a good boy, Quigley Wiggles. Alright, I think I'll roll this up. I always think about how in transit I like to contain Toto into this crate so that I don't feel like he's wandering around doing whatever he wants, pretty much. He gets contained in this space for travel, for his safety. Getting more of the bright light from the outside world. That's good. There's another bowl, another dog bowl. Put it up there for the to-do list. Okay. I do have a cushion here with Quigley's face on it. I'm just in this corner unplugging the mini fridge and then chasing its power cable back to the source. Some shoes down here. Those are my very seldom used leisure shoes. Okay, this fridge is full of food because it's been getting used recently. We have obviously a kitchen fridge that works quite nicely on when we are on the grid, plugged in to shore power, but on the gas it hasn't been performing very well. Goodness, this usually is not as difficult of a task as it is being this time, so I'm getting a bit frustrated with it. Get in there. I'm realising that the time code on the recording, so far I'm at 43 minutes in this documentary. I thought it was, when I think about it, it takes as long as it takes, but I thought I might have been able to keep it within 30 minutes, but such is not the case. Part of me is wondering if I can stick that there. That works for me. I just need to tie that to there. So I'm going to go find security. I'm going to deal with that right now so I don't forget. What was I going to use? That's right, my marvellous dressing gown that I wear. The tie, the waist tie. I am of hope that this will suffice. And considering my slave for a wage day job is security for transport of furniture, this is right up my alley. This is exactly how we do things, pretty much. Now this is an unusual item because we haven't had it for very long, and so there's multiple places it could be stored. It's my first time putting it there though. Okay, I'm just fussing around with a power supply cable there. Re-plug it in. It's plugged. That's lit. Might as well, while I'm here on my knees, begging please, might as well throw some power into this music box. It's not working. Why isn't that working? Yep, it lit up. It's a little bit temperamental. Yeah. It requires a bit of a love tap on the cable. So sometimes I just sort of pull on the cable and hope. I don't know. Maybe I should just give up. Yeah, I'm just going to give up because it's taking too long. I'm going to get as much done in this corner as I can right now. This curtain is definitely in need of repair. It's had a hard life. It's it's the curtain. This one does hardly anything. The other one, yeah. Okay, I think I'm done here. The good thing about this is that's the driver's seat has been made good, ready for action. And there is my famous movie star teddy bear hanging out there in the front of me. Yeah, good. Okay, now feels like the moment to instigate the usual load security requirements for this. Here's a Quigley. Hello, Mr. Wallace. This bowl, I'll worry about that soon. It's all we really need to make sure that doesn't topple off of there. Alright, this looks like a bag of dog food, but actually it's a bag of rubbish. I'm sure it's a bag of rubbish. I'll double check on that. Yeah, it is. So that's awaiting transport to a refuse location. This is a bag of bags. The bag of bags. And that can go over there with that one. A very well chewed dog toy. That belongs in here. That's little bits of trash in here. Might as well deal with. And the bag, this empty bag, can go in the bag of bags. I'm getting this show on the road quickly. Just wait patiently, my buddy. Wait patiently, mate. Probably going to travel safe just perfectly fine right there. And a random bag of random things I have to get through. Oh, okay, that stuff can stay in there. It's a card game. That card just left. Okay, I saw this blinking, which is why I'm going to come and turn it off. But I had to turn that on. It's giving me a bit of an indication of where the health of our battery right now. I think that it's going to end up there. This is going to go up here in the too hard pile. I'm not dealing with that. God. One bag of shopping. I'm pretty sure bananas can ride safely there today. You would think that I would go to the shops and remember to grab a couple of these bags, but instead of remembering, I always just buy a new one and bring a new one home, and like an idiot. Bags is only really handy when we actually take the bus travelling and need bags when we go shopping and stuff. Recycling. So that's my mission today. I might recycle. I paid a lot for these bags. They're all like 40 cents each. Well, what do you do with them when you've got too many? And right now I'm struggling to think where this bag has to go. Where will this bag... We've got too much stuff, that's the problem. Okay, I'm gravitating towards the back of the bus. I'm feeling a bit lost about this. It's just a bag of bags, but it's nice and light. You can go up here in the top bunk. Quigley, be quiet. You be quiet. I don't even have space for another carton of milk, or maybe I do. It's not shutting properly, that's not good. However, it doesn't matter that much because it's not switched on. The mission. Oh, it's so annoying when things are just on the verge of impossible. Blankets in a book. Sorry, Quigley. I wish he would just stay still sometimes. He just it's to follow me like a bad smell and ends up underfoot, unfortunately. This is just a bottom bunk for bedding at the moment. I'll try and square this out. Square that back. I could maybe use this space for cargo. The best cargo item I can think. There's a place up in here. Is this plastic tub. Works. This book. Books sometimes end up here. I don't know. That's a bad place for them. Because of the placement of the big plastic crate, I've decided to relocate this into here. It's proving to be easier said than done. It's just going to give it room to breathe if it moves around in there. Not that, obviously, worst case scenario kind of stuff. Don't really thrashing this house bus around corners or anything, so it doesn't even really matter that much. Right, I've decided that these two bags are two birds of a feather, so I've forgotten the word for it. What's the word? I'm consolidating them into one bag. A bag with another bag in it. And it's jingling because it's Christmas. I have no idea, absolutely no idea that we had those. And that container can probably just hang out there because I'm lazy. It's a nice little container-sized hole for it to go into. We're getting down to the most nitty-gritty, chuck anything anywhere kind of situation here. A bag of bags. This normally goes in there. Shoop. What else is in there? Mate, I have no idea that stuff was in there. As far as I knew, that was where we kept all the dog food before. Oh, this is just rubbish. Another empty dog food bag. I suppose it's handy because we could use that to contain some refuse before we get rid of it. These cushions like to ride in here. Now I just start scanning for all the little random objects that need a little bit of tidying up, but we're pretty much there, folks. Another bottle of water, that's good. That feels mostly full, but what I'll do is I'll fill it all the way and then drink the rest of this one, because I am at the right time in life right now to enjoy a nice bit of water, and it's only the last little bits that didn't make it into the primary vessel. These are cool. I just have no idea where they should belong. Maybe now that I've put them up here, I'll live up here forever. We'll see. Sometimes that happens, like a lot of the things that are up here. Random shelf full of random things. Yeah, cool. Batteries. I'm always putting batteries up here, so I enjoy it. Party up here. The battery party. And what's this? More pinwire lights. Okay, looks like we're getting in a Christmassy mood, folks. Christmas. The holidays. Alright, these are eggs. I quite often relocate the eggs to here for their trips around. There's other places they could go, but it seems to be fair. Those will be safe there. A notebook holding up the fort up there. What am I supposed to do with these carrots? I guess I can live up here with the dog food. There's no harm in that. Yeah, we're getting there, folks. We're getting there. There's a whole myriad of hair ties right here. Okay, not sure what to do with the hair ties. Okay, I've got this crazy idea. I've got a twisty tie here. My intention is to just sort of bind them all together so that... Goodness, I actually might have chosen like an impossible task. There's so many hair ties. That's such a dumb idea. In fact, I would love a piece of string. The other option is to use one of these to combine, contain them. Okay, we'll use the white one because it wants to pop out like that. Let me do this. Right, kill. That works. Twisty tie through there, and that solves that problem. And now that they are combined and more able to depend on each other for support, I can go up here. Hurrah! What a decorative effect that has too. I think a pencil can see if it can survive the trip up there. This, I'm going to check the contents. There's still a little bit, so I can't throw that out. Oh, what? Oh, Oh, I just totally set myself up. How's that for real life bus life? Damn. Alright, emergency procedures. First thing I'll do is grab a towel, and just because it's an emergency, I'm going to use my brand newest of towels to do some mopping up here. Or rather, I feel more like I'm just squashing the water into the carpet. Hey, whoops! Whoopsie. And thankfully the bag is one of those well used, dirty, filthy. I know that's what it is, but it's also resilient to water. Not totally waterproof, but I'm sure everything's going to be all fine inside that. That was a total setup. Sweet, we're just past an hour of footage. What a marvel. It took that long, but ladies and gentlemen, we're on the verge of travelling. Alright, that's that one actually. You can come down. Look at Quigley all snuggled in his blanket. Hey, my good boy. I assume that towel was clean, but not quite dry enough, so it got to hang up there just to sort itself out. And now I've gone ahead and made this one all wet, so it can go up there to get some airing out while we're travelling. That's pretty much the purpose of the shoelace that's up there. Good. Look, there's me. I wonder how many times you guys have caught a glimpse I wasn't aware of. So we've travelled past that mirror at least a couple of times. Okay. Lights out, don't need them for travelling. Water bottle back where it goes. Another dog toy. Of course the last thing I have to deal with is another errant dog toy. Alright, I did almost miss this. What is this? Vanilla flavoured mini vegan marshmallow treat for the kids. Alright, in a video full of mundane tasks, the last sort of mise en place sort of thing that I feel like I need to do. Give my glasses a clean, and the plan is to run the motor. and get this motor warming up, ready to go driving now. Get that camera on while I'm thinking about it. Hurrah, we have ignition. Tato, I didn't mind goodie. Got to call my dog over here because he needs to be contained in his safe travelling space. Before we set off, what about this? Okay. Now you want to be difficult about being where you belong. I wonder if it'll survive the trip there. And we've got a happy face on our battery monitor. I'm just noticing that. It was it didn't have the sad face, it had the in-between, I'm almost sad face is what I call it. It's like, oh, I'm okay, but I'm gonna get sad soon. That's what that icon means to me, but it's good to see that as soon as I put the motor on, the motor's running, start smiling, and there's a reason for that. The motor recharges the batteries. But yeah, just reiterating, I hope that lady's not going to walk past here with her child. She might do, so I'm going to... No, she's crossing the road, good. If she was going to walk past here, I mean, I can't save everyone, but if I have the opportunity to shut down the motor just before people are going to walk past it, because the exhaust is right out here, it's not very nice to walk past. Alright, sunglasses are on. Driving shall commence. I just have one last thing on my to-do list. My doggies, my good boys. Come on, I'll bring your blankie. Come on in. He won't want to come. All I'm doing right now, I'm not even going, I don't even have any plans of where to go except for away from here, because the purpose of all of what just happened and what we're doing right now is merely to remove the bus from the shade and park it in the sun. There's one more thing on the to-do list, which, you know, right at the beginning of this recording, I thought I was going to make it the first thing that I do, and then I blabbed away about all sorts of other stuff and didn't do that. This is this light that I magnetically attach to the rear bumper. I don't trust it to stay on in transit, so it always comes back inside when we're travelling, and fortunately magnetically attaches to the dashboard too. We're out of here, dogs. We're ready. We're going rolling, driving. You ready? Take the brake off, and I'm going to pump up my seat a little bit. Yep, it just does have air ride suspension, however it's all manual pump to get the air into the system. I love how after first start up it does that sort of high idle building up, and then all I have to do is like kick that accelerator pedal and it calms its tits down and brings the revs down. One thing that's always been a thing about this vehicle is that it tends to rev never any lower than 1000 RPM, but I looked up the specs on this particular motor and its nominal rev is supposed to be around 800, and we just live with it the way that it is. And it's something to do with this device here, which has never worked, and the control that it's supposed to give over the motor. If I got that facility repaired, that there and the underground stuff that it connects to, if I got that repaired, we would have more exacting control of the revolutions of the motor, but we don't, so we just live with it having like this temperamental sort of thing. Anyway, I'm blabbing. It's time to start driving, isn't it? Let's go. Put the signal on. Speed 1, turning away from that tree pretty quick. Where do we go? Well, I guess there's quite a few places on the to-do list, which I'm not going to take you along. So what I'm going to do, I think, is just do a little bit of driving so that you can enjoy vicariously witnessing this with me, and then we're going to shut down the recording and call it a day. I love this bus. I do very much love driving it. Speed 2, speed 3. All clear on the traffic on the right. I'm just going to hoon around this giveaway corner. Yeah! With the right signal still on while I was doing it. Now that's off. Speed 5. I gave it a bit of gas there when I didn't need to. Okay. A little known facility of this bus is that sound, the air brakes. Speed 4, brake pedal. Yeah, the trigger, the button for the air brakes is a button on the floor that I have to push down with my foot. Try to keep it below 2000 revs while the motor's still probably not running at nominal temperature. And also because most of the time I don't like to go super revolutions on this thing. Even on the uphill climbs, I'm quite happy to just keep it down to 2k. Exhaust brake 1, speed 4, speed 3, speed 4. I forgot what I was talking about. Speed 5, vehicle hazard. I know exactly where I'm going to go first. We'll do the waterworks first. That's a whole nother documentary if you'd like to see that. So I'll drive us there, but at that point I think I'm going to kill the recording, and that's it. We'll get to the dump station we'll dump the waste, and then we'll carry on with our merry lives following on from that. So yeah, just enjoy the rest of this cruisy drive down here, down Port Road with us, and then we'll call it a day. Walking school bus happens to be just happening over there, and been 4 fire service protesting on the roundabout here. They're getting poor wages and poor equipment standards and all, so they've been coming out here to this roundabout and making a lot of noise about it for quite some time. Recently, more so. Yeah, that was all perfectly timed for me, like that whole gap in the traffic and everything. Bring it down to speed 4. It's going to stay in speed 4. The exhaust brake into this corner. Yeah, there's lots on the to-do list today. We'll do these waterworks. Got to go and deal with the recycling and the refuse. And what is the time? 12:15, but an hour and 45 minutes to get the rest of the mission done. What's the other thing on my to-do list? Oh yeah, we're out of the liquid petroleum gas in our biggest tank. So we got burnable at the moment with the standby tank, which is just meant to be there to tide us over between big gas bottle fills. So I will be making a journey to the gas bottle refillery station as well. Part of me wishes that I could just live stream my life and have you all follow along with us as much as I like. You know, like I'm really just going to kill the camera soon to save battery life, memory space, and this might be the longest continuous recording I've ever made. Because it took so damn long, but luckily I'm not going to subject all of you all to that. I think I'm definitely going to at least experiment with an AI edit on this. Maybe I'll publish the long form version too, so that if you'd rather watch the most true real life experience of this, you could do that too. So we'll see how I feel about that in the long run. I'm not making any promises, but it might be an option. You should look in the description and see if it's there. Been here, what a cool. It's not my first time seeing that trailer. I can't remember if I got a picture of it last time. It looks like it's semi-permanently set up there, so probably try and grab a picture of that on my way back past later. Stop the bus right outside it, stick my camera out the window. Alright, slowing down right here on the brake pedal just to give way to this vehicle that's coming out. The road's actually closed here, but we have access for the sake of the dump station. There's also a couple of the vehicle drillers that have been stationed here for quite a while, just so happens to be forming part of this documentary. There's an old house bus there, rusty as. I don't think it should be on the road, to be fair, but people do what they've got to do sometimes. Now, I did see a vehicle that looked like it might have been trying to follow me in to this location, but it didn't, so that's good. Yeah, that's just me stomping like I need heartbeat sound effects. Okay, that was good, perfect. I lined up that rear axle right in the gutter over there, perfectly. It does take quite a bit of manoeuvring to get around in here, for me, because it's not powered steering, so I just have to there's no luxury of dry turning, so all of my driving tactics for getting into here are just the slow, methodical, no dry turning methods that I have mastered. I think I've overcooked this. Possible I might just nail it by accident, but I think I might be. No, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't. So I'll go for a reposition. Now the secret about this dump station is that it's so frequently used by myself that I've actually painted a mark, spray paint, on the concrete so that I can look over into that mirror and line up for it. Oh my god, and this time I'm off. Goodness, you'd think because I'm recording that I would nail it, right? Yeah, good, we're at it. Perfect. And now because I talked about it, that's what I'm going to do to end this recording, is go out there and show you that spray painted mark that I was referring to. First we'll let the doggy out, yeah, and that's us. I've got to take this body harness equipment holding the phone off anyway to do all this work that I've got to do here. So thank you for joining us on this documentary of our lives on this windy day in Seaview. Hey, love you guys. Oh, you're not allowed out. I wasn't inviting you out, my bad. Stand there. Bye. Oh well. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to move on to the rest of the reality of the bus life. And you can move on to whatever's happening next. Maybe watch some more of our content. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.